hard glass, is actually made from fine, soft sand. These two seemingly unrelated materials are closely connected. The reason glass can be made from sand is that glass and sand share very similar components. However, glass is transparent, while sand is not. By melting sand at a temperature of 2000 degrees Celsius, sand can be transformed into glass. So, what is the principle behind this transformation? Glass is very common in our daily lives, and its main component is silica, CO2. Silica can be simply understood as a mineral, the most common mineral on Earth. This mineral mostly exists in quartz. The composition of sand is mainly silica, so the small sand grains we see are the smallest quartz particles. In this way, glass and sand are made from the same materials, so it makes sense that sand can be turned into glass. The principle behind this is actually quite simple. Silica is made of silicon and oxygen atoms. Under certain conditions, these silicon and oxygen atoms can bond and arrange themselves neatly, forming a crystalline structure, which is what we call glass or sand. At high temperatures, silica melts and the crystal structure is destroyed. The silicon and oxygen atoms begin to move freely. As the liquid slowly cools and solidifies, the crystalline structure reforms. By cooling the liquid quickly, the silicon and oxygen atoms become trapped in their original positions, unable to flow further. The liquid sand thus becomes glass. So, sand doesn't just turn into glass on its own, certain conditions are necessary. When making glass, if we use ordinary sand, we need to add a small amount of soda and limestone. These need to be mixed thoroughly. Soda, also known as sodium carbonate, helps the sand melt, while limestone, or calcium carbonate, removes moisture. Once these three materials are thoroughly mixed, they need to be heated at high temperatures, no less than 2000 degrees Celsius. A lower temperature will prevent the sand from melting. After about 30 minutes of heating, the sand will turn into a liquid. This liquid is transparent and viscous, and still has a slight shine to it. This liquid is called glass liquid. Finally, the glass liquid is poured into molds of different shapes. At this point, cooling is accelerated, and then it is allowed to rest and solidify. Afterward, we can get glass in various shapes. As early as 300 years ago, people discovered that sand could be turned into glass. A group of Europeans were cooking on a beach, and they noticed some shiny substances. Later, they realized that it was the result of using natural soda to prop up their cooking pots in the high heat. The chemical reaction between sand and soda in the high temperature resulted in the earliest form of glass. Initially, glass was transparent, but some glass came in beautiful colors. How was this colored glass made? In the beginning, people could make glass from sand, but at that time, most of the glass produced was just ordinary transparent glass, or glass with slight color variations. In some cases, due to inaccuracy or negligence in the manufacturing process, impurities were added or unrefined materials were used, which unintentionally resulted in colored glass. However, as people's aesthetic demands grew, so did the desire for decorative glass. Through continuous research and experimentation, people discovered that if they added a small amount of coloring agents, about 0.5%, to the standard glass ingredients, the glass could be visibly colored.